Welcome back to our channel. Let's start with the news today. International Criminal Court. Everybody involved in the Russian onslaught should understand all this will be collated in evidence to be used at a future time in what could be proceeding before the International Criminal Court. As the missile rained down on Kyiv, the PM also visited NATO allies in Estonia to offer support. Mr. Johnson said the UK are beefing up NATO eastern flank and warned Mad Vlad he will have more NATO, not less NATO. But his whirlwind visit threatened to be overshadowed by a row over NATO refusal to impose a no-fly zone over Ukraine. In highly charged scene, Ukrainian human rights campaigner Daria Kaleniuk embraced the PM at the press conference in Poland. She accused him of being afraid to take on Russian and begged for West to send in a plane. Tearful Ms. Kaleniuk said Ukrainian women and children are in deep fear because of bombs and missiles which are going from the sky. Ukrainian people are desperately asking for the right to protect our sky. We are asking for a no-fly zone. NATO is not willing to defend because NATO is afraid of World War III. But it already started, and it's Ukrainian children who are there taking the hit. You are talking about more sanctions. Prime Minister the Roman Abramovich is not sanctioned in London. His children are not in bombardment. His children are there in London. A second, Mr. Johnson ruled out sending NATO jets in as they could accidentally trigger World War III if they shot down in a Russian plane. But he vowed to do everything else in his power to have arms, train and arrest Ukrainian lionheart fighting for their homeland. He told Ms. Kaleniuk, "I'm concerned that there is not enough that we can do as the UK government to have in the way that you want. When you talk about the no-fly zone, as I said Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky a couple of times. Unfortunately, the implication of that is the UK would be engaged in shooting down Russian planes. It would be engaged in direct combat with Russia. That's not something that we can do or that we envisage. The consequence of that would be truly very difficult to control." Britain yesterday banned all boats with a link to Russia from docking in our port. The powerful walked out at the UN in Geneva came before Lavrov described Russia's invasion as a special military operation aimed at dislodging what he called neo-Nazis ruling Ukraine. The 71 years old also occurs the use of engaging in a Russophobic frenzy by supplying weapons to Ukraine and blamed sanctions as to why he could not attend in person. Envoys from Syria, China and Venezuela were among those who stayed to listen to Lavrov. Britain sent a second military plane yesterday to Poland packed with bandage, painkiller, PPE and other hospital supply destined for Ukraine. The World Health Organization warned at the weekend medical oxygen supply in Ukraine are dangerously low. Labor leader Sir Keir Starmer warned his MPs he will not tolerate anti-NATO ideals and will put out those taking such a stand. He said there will be no place for force equivalence between the action of Russia and NATO. Diane Abbott, who yesterday confused Ukraine with Croatia in a live TV gaffe, was one of the dozen MP who signed a letter that blamed NATO for the invasion. This is the end of our news today. If you like this video, please like and subscribe for our channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.